we are ready to get this one on the road. And it'll be Qatar opening up with serve. It's a nice take in the backcourt. The containing block was attempted there as Yamauchi manages to put it away.
Another great ball in from the libero, gives Japan all the options. Always good to see them go early to the middle, establish that connection that they'll utilize for the matchups throughout this match as well.
Well, the setter's got to do a little bit of work there, and it's sent straight back, and that's what Akihiro Yamauchi can bring to the party. A very experienced middle blocker wipes out the swing. Oh, that is some take. Ribeiro denied. That's going to get picked up nicely as well. A chance here for Otsuka. And he runs into a wall, and that's side out. Otsuka, the young hitter, running into a whole world of trouble there.
Not a lot of places for him to go on that one. Had a good, well-formed triple block in front of him. Otsuka tried to slice it back down the line, but Yusuf with a good disciplined block for the point.
Side out Qatar. Big, aggressive swing, but a bit too much on that one from the veteran captain, Mohamed Ibrahim. What a story for him, that 37 years old and leading his nation in their first ever World Championship. Philippe Blaine looks on as Yuji Nishida drops back to the service line then. The early breakthrough has been made by Japan here. That's a nice take. The cross court is picked up. Lovely rescue work there by the libero Yamamoto.
Just a little too strong that time from Ron, number 12 for Japan. Trying to give his teammate a set here from well off the court, but just puts a little too much on it. Goes over the net and out of bounds.
Uglaf with a big, powerful serve. Talking about big and powerful Nishida. Somehow that's going to come back. More by luck than anything else. And the swing off the block and away from Otsuka. Tatsunori Otsuka rubbing one off the block.
Yeah, Otsuka with a great attack in transition. But let's talk about the libero for Qatar to get that dig off of Nishida. That was a huge swing, but Japan scoring on the counterattack.
So Otsuka will go for that high ball toss. Very aggressive. That's trouble. Nicely rescued, but they've kept it alive, and that is such a Japan strength. And then rubbed off the block by Ran Takahashi. The hit wasn't particularly spectacular. That was typical Japan defense.
Japanese defense, some of the best in the world, as always, one of their pillars in their program development, and Ran Takahashi aiming for the hands and blasting it off for that point.
So Otsuka goes aggressive, picked up by Vasic in the backcourt. Oh, the down-the-line drill from Uglaf is just too hot. Oh, he didn't hold back on that one, did he? Oh, let that one rip.
Swing right there down the line by Uglaf. The opposite hitter gets the line seam and attacks it nicely.
So the Brazilian-born Renan Ribeiro with serve. They go for the big inside hit off the middle from Taishi on Odera, and that's tough to defend when it's as effectively executed like that.
It was perfectly executed. It all started with the pass from the libero, setting up Japan's offense. And again, they go through the middle on that 31 attack, and it scores.
Onodera now back to serve. 6-3 Japan, set 1. And again, terrific defensive work in the backcourt. That was Nishida. Nishida getting an important touch there as well as they contain and then try and transition. Picked up nicely though, good defensive work from the Qataris. Some rally this, and still it goes on. That's a tough take for Ran Takahashi, and he's made it look easy though. Lovely finish to that rally.
And once again, Ran Takahashi scoring on the counterattack. Probably his third attempt in that rally. That was a long one. Gets a touch off the block and a point for his side.
Onodera staying on serve. Just look for the corner. Wasn't far away either. And a much-needed side out for Qatar. Just got to try and stay close here, the Qataris. As Belal Abu Narbot, the very experienced middle blocker, part of the Al Rayyan squad, and there's many of them here. He will go back to serve, look for a mid-range serve there. Takahashi, does he take something on the way through? Yes, he does.
Ron just showing how good he is at attacking the hands of the blockers. 3 blockers in front of him, gets the touch off the wing blocker, scores the point and gets the side out.
Sekita, the setter, serving at 8-4. Ooh, it's rather got under that one, Ribeiro. And that allowed the block to get set. So they contain, they'll swing it over this way, and it's another one of those down the lines from Yusuf Uglaf. I tell you, when he lets rip down this near side, I don't care how good your backcourt defenders are, you try stopping those.
He's a very physical opposite attacker for Qatar as he comes flying out of the back row. Even though a net violation called on the Japanese middle blocker there, a great dig that knocks libero over, but a point for Qatar.
That's twice he's gone after Yamamoto, the libero, who's a really good defensive player as well, but just too much on it. And speaking of too much on it, too much on that from Milos Stevanovic, the veteran setter. I say veteran, it's a very, very mature group, shall we say. The bulk of these Qatari players, all 30 or older. There's no, there's very, very few young, inexperienced players around. The pipe attack, no. Yeah, they did get there in the end, despite, again, a tremendous effort in the backcourt to keep it alive. Philippe Blaine looking on and knowing that one of his team's great strengths is defense. They give nothing up easy.
No, they certainly don't, and every ball that's still in the air will get an attack or an attempt to keep it at play. That time, Renan getting the point out of the back row.
So Vasic rips into that one. Yeah, I remember talking to a coach who said, how do you prepare for Japan? He just said, one simple rule. I tell my guys, expect it to come back, because it's probably going to.
Seriously, absolutely correct. I mean, you know that the rallies are going to be very, very long, multiple attacks on both sides. And for Qatar, they also have to keep the ball in play. They have to serve tough from the inline, but not too easy, and then expect that ball to come back.
Tell you, Yusuf Uglaf is bringing some heat. I mean, you know, he's thinking, forget finesse, forget touch. I'm just going to power my way through.
That's exactly what opposite attackers need to do at this level, and that's what Yusuf Uglaf is doing for Qatar so far.
Well, he's keeping his nation in touch here. Wonderful, wonderful service reception from Otsuka, but his cross-court is nicely picked up as well. Now, can they conjure something up out of this? They've kept it alive, but surely just delaying the inevitable, and there it is. Yuji Nishida with a little bit of touch to get the better of the block.
Yuji showing all of his range. The lefty right side attacker for Japan. Getting that ball off the block and down. Doesn't always have to go with the power. Uses a little finesse that time and still scores.
Nishida, oh my goodness me, Nishida drilling that straight at Vasic. Somehow he's managed to keep it alive, but this could be trouble coming in, and is with the pipe attack, finished off by Ran Takahashi. You don't want to see him coming at you with the pipe attack.
Japan showing that they have a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Good big attack, executed nicely with Ran Takahashi hammering that ball back to area 1, taking us to our technical timeout.
Bravo, guys. The game now is self-reception. This ball, if we can leave it out, yes, try to help. It's very fast, I know. Let's get the rhythm because it's 1 meter out. No matter we miss 3 service, we keep the float to number 5 and swing and jump, guys, eh? Swing and jump, okay? Fight,
There's a limit to what Camilo Soto can say to his players at this point. I mean, they're not playing badly, Qatar, are they? But they're just struggling to keep up with Japan at the moment.
Well, one thing he said there is they've missed 3 serves already. So they're down by 5. They've given up 3 points. They've really only lost 2 points then, you know, to Japan. But they have to keep their serves in. And I think that's a good talk to his team during that timeout.
Nishida, who can be and is such a devastating server, rips that one. Tried to get a bit more topspin on it. Needed a bit more topspin. Side out. Uglaf, we know what he can do with his down-the-line hits. What can he do from the service line? Winds up a big one. Oh, takes a big hop off the net cord. Works actually quite well. The block is there to contain Nishida. So Otsuka will have a go, and he's too good for Uglaf. Off, and away. Vasic tried to get back there with the rescue, couldn't get there.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate for Qatar. The block and defense was there, but a nice recovery by Japan. And again, high left side attack off the blocker's hands and out of play.
Otsuka, the youngster, only 21. Part of this new breed of talent that is coming through. A cross-court attack from Ribeiro takes a big touch on the way through.
A great left side swing there. You see the wing blocker drop his hands, but the attacker aiming for the middle, challenging him, getting the touch off the block and scoring.
It'll be Ribeiro with the serve. Otsuka can take that pretty comfortably, and Otsuka will look to finish it off. That's taken a big spin off Ribeiro. I tell you, the libero has done brilliantly there to try and keep that alive, but it's just still going as well. This is great defense from Qatar this time. They're going to need more defense here, because here comes Nishida, and they won it at the third attempt, breaking that Qatar resistance. Oh, that is some way to finish a rally.
Watch this play here, the libero. Diving save into the boards, and those boards are not soft. Those hurt as he was holding his hip throughout the rest of this rally, but Nishida finishing it off down the line. Have to appreciate the effort that Qatar is giving. Still down by 5 points here in set number 1.
That was Afsam Mahmoud, the libero, the tough guy there, taking one on the hip. Is he out for a point? No, he's still out there. Tough guys, these volleyball players. Serve comes in. It's a pretty comfortable take, and that's going to be an easy put away for Nikola Vasic.
A great awareness by the setter for Qatar to see the matchup. Shorter blocker, Sekita, the setter for Japan, going against the outside hitter, Nikola, and he scores the winner.
Belal Abunabot, the middle blocker, back at the service line. It's a comfortable pickup for Takahashi, and third touch also Takahashi. And it looks like it's another one of those middle blockers. You know, they're the big guys, but they don't often bring the power serves, do they?
No, they sometimes do, but a jump float serve to Japan is just going to be a little too soft, and Ron makes them pay, getting that first side out on that first ball offense.
There's a floated serve, drops mid-court, gets picked up, the block is there to deny Ibrahim, and then Qatar do manage to finish the job. Well, it's what they got to do, get the big guy going, keep him going.
They're going to rely on him heavily here. Again, going high off the hands down the line, attacking that wing blocker and scoring.
Stevanovic. Again, nicely taken. It went for the quick inside set, but Yamauchi was denied. Nishida off net. Can't get the better of Mahmoud back there, and that's going to be the push into the block, and that's going to be off and away. Another well-played point, Japan.
And another one of those longer rallies that just as you kind of get the flow of this game going, Nick, the longer the rally goes, you got to favor Japan, just as they did in this one. A good block back there, nice cover, but it goes out of bounds, and a point for Japan.
Takahashi back to serve. Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right, Matt. The rule of thumb here, the longer the rally, the more the odds will favor Japan. They've got to make it short and sharp, Qatar, if they can, and long serves will help their cause as Takahashi winds up a big one, which I guess you could do when you've got a healthy lead in the set.
Yeah, when you have a 5-point advantage, you can go back and be aggressive, but Japan obviously has those guys that they know they can be aggressive every single time. And a limited amount of service errors are not a bad thing as long as they go out through the inline, as we see a service ace.
I tell you, he drilled that. Nikola Vasic wound that one up. And anytime you've got two going for it, you've got a chance of an ace.
A great serve, attacking the seam there. That's always where you want to serve the ball, is down the seam, try to find that open court and make the teammates talk about it.
Vasic this time finds Yamamoto, who picks it up, and that's nicely defended by Vasic as well, with the dig in the backcourt, so they'll have to do it again, and Akihiro Yamauchi says, okay, we'll get it second time.
Well, you can see Japan really wants to activate this middle, and the second time in this rally they go there. Yamauchi scores on that. Another distance 31 attack to score the point wrist away.
Seems like he's been around forever. Yamauchi still only 28, one of the few survivors from that 2018 World Championship squad. That's anytime you've got the liberos setting from the backcourt, you know the blockers are getting their eyes big because they're going to have all day to set up and put a wall up.
Huge advantage to Japan. The opposite hitter takes a crack at it, but it hits it too low right into that left-handed Nishida, who does a great job closing that seam as the third blocker coming over.
So Yamauchi will stay on serve. That'll be picked up by Ibrahim. And somehow, rather scruffily under the net, they keep it alive. Ibrahim will have another go, and this time he does get the better of him.
Good challenges to the middle from both sides. Ibrahim getting 2 chances and scoring on that second attack as the ball rattled through the block, but then no one able to play that.
Here is the captain. Whoa, with a drilled serve. Whoa, the swerve on that completely bamboozled Ran Takahashi. Another ace.
I think Abraham knew it was going to be an ace as soon as it came off of his hand. Look at this rocket of a serve right down the seam. And the celebration.
You know what? He's a middle blocker. He heard what I said about middle blockers being soft serves. He said, "You think this is soft?" Well, that one isn't soft either. Ibrahim really winding one up here. That's going to be the clever push into space from Yamauchi. Find the gap and just drop it in there. And that's all it's going to need. It's Otsuka, excuse me, that gets the touch on this.
Yeah, really nice vision to see the off blocker. Didn't come under the block. He stepped back to the sideline, and look at the placement. So precise. Right over the block and down.
So 19-15, Japan built that early lead and have maintained it. But Qatar have been competitive in this first set. There's a lot of positives they can take out of this. What they do need here, though, is an immediate side out. Nishida gives them exactly that. Abunabot. Off the block and away from the sub Kento Miura. The backup opposite comes in.
Now Japan snuck in a double sub they didn't really get to see. So that opposite hitter came in for the setter. Then Yoshida came out after he missed his serve, and now their setter is in the back row.
And I'll tell you something else, talking about sneaking subs in, they've just sneaked Yuki Ishikawa on court for the first time as well. Let's see if he can contribute here. That's an overpass, but they'll get a second look at this, and it is indeed Ishikawa who runs into the block. Sent back by Belal Abunabot.
That's a bit of a tough situation for Japan, especially your first swing. Ishikawa takes a good crack at it, but blocker was there to score the block point.
They say just about in touch here with Renan Ribeiro. Max serving, he mixes it up. They go straight after Ishikawa, who will now have another swing, and that's a little bit more like it from Yushi Ishikawa, the captain.
Now that's exactly what you expect to see from Ishikawa, especially when he gets a second opportunity. You like to see the sitter go right back to him after he gets blocked on the previous play, but that time through the block and down for that point.
Taishi Onodera back to serve then at 21-17. First to 25, of course, must win by 2 clear points, and Japan at the moment look on course for this first set. That's a nasty set, just rather mishandled things there, gave Vasic no play. So if Vasic doesn't have a play, look for your big opposite, and Yusuf Uglaf, he had a play.
Opposite hitters at this level always have to be ready to attack, especially in the out-of-system plays. Yusuf that time getting a great swing on a non-perfect pass, but still scoring the point.
Belal. He took everything off that serve, mixed it up. That's a really nice rescue from Uglaf, turning defense there, but there's more defense to be played here. And again, it's Uglaf that's got the dig underneath it. This is nice, but this is a tough play. Yeah, just has to hoist it back over, keep the rally going. And it's going to keep on going as well here. No, it isn't. Just too much heat there from Tatsunori Otsuka. Ripped it into the backcourt straight at Yusef Uglaf and said, hey, I'm sorry about that, but he's not really.
He's not really. Good sportsmanship. Nice defense you see here from Yusef Uglaf. But this attack, nobody in front of him on the block. Credit to Qatar to sit in there and try to dig that ball, but just too much heat from the back row.
So we're going to see Kento Miyaura coming in off the bench to serve. 22-18. It's a nice take. That's a nice block, even better. I tell you, Nishida was there, but Yamauchi might well be saying, that's mine, thank you very much. The stuff block from the big fella.
Yeah, great block here from Japan. This ball will be set just a little bit too tight. And Japan with a well-formed block to score that point. And Qatar decides to use their second timeout here of set number 1.
Take a block or positive block. When we serve good, we didn't take result. We are taking the ball when we in perfect situation, so it's more difficult. Remember that before, today is not working. If you call B, is to go B back.
Yeah, Kamil Soto did the right thing taking that time out there. It's available to him, and he knows that realistically that block against Qatar was last chance of trying to get anything out of this set.
Well, he's got to be pleased about how his side is playing. The effort is there. Just a few too many service errors early on in this set, and then Japan, obviously behind the efforts of that man right there, Ishikawa coming in, has put a lot of pressure right back onto the Qatari side.
So Miyaura stays back there, rips up another serve that gets a big kick off the net cord. Well, you can pick your poison here. They go to Nishida. That spins off Ribeiro. Wonderful rescue from Mahmoud once again, who goes into the boards again, and this time is shaken up and has gone down. That's a heavy landing. I mean, he really was at full speed when he went into that board.
Yeah, his forearm went into the board. His right forearm went into the board there. So they're going to get some medical attention and hope he's all right. But he is in some
Volleyball
pain.
players, as you know, Matt, sorry to interrupt you, they're like ice hockey players. If they stay down, they're hurt.
Well, we know how tough he is. This is the second time he's charged into these boards that surround the court here, and we'll see a replay. It's another dig, but here he goes. He's going to run back to over and watch his right forearm. Ouch. It's a serious impact into that board, and as we said earlier, those are not soft.
Well, he doesn't look in a good place there at all. They do have another very experienced libero in Saad Suleiman. At the moment, you can see the concern. A little knot of players around Hassan Mahmoud, as you say. He'd already gone into the boards once, shrugged that one off, but he wasn't going to shrug this one off. But it really typified this tremendous fighting spirit that we've seen from Qatar in this first set. They're not giving anything up at all, and he typified that.
No, the effort from Qatar has been really highly appreciated by the coaching staff and everyone here in the arena, allowing them to stay in this game, at least within striking distance. 4 points at this point of 5 points still, as it has been for most of this set. You know, this is going to put some more pressure on Qatar that they don't necessarily need additional pressure when they're playing Japan, but unfortunately, this injury looks as if the libero will have to be replaced moving forward in this match.
And it is actually Saad Suleiman that is down. I got myself confused there. It's Hassan Mahmoud who was on the bench. So both the liberos, two very, very experienced liberos, have been involved with collisions. And I'm afraid Saad Suleiman has not come out of that one very well at all. He's up.
But that arm of his doesn't look great at all. Got a big ice pack on the right forearm there. So Qatar, 5 points down and a man down. Here in this first set. we're going to see more of Kento Miyaura from the service line, with Mahmoud in at libero for Qatar. The net serve side out. Bojan Djukic comes in as a replacement for Nikola Vasic. Presumably Djukic is there. He's an outside hitter, but he's also there presumably to try and help on the blocking scheme here for Qatar, because they need points on serve. Need to get the blocks established, and they're not going to get it like that. Quick inside set. Yamauchi taking it very, very high. Stop that.
Another attack through the middle. It's worked for Japan all set long. They established it very early on, and they continue to go back to it, and it keeps working.
Ishikawa, the captain, who started this match, on the bench. Now back at the service line. Really ripped one there. But well wide. But it remains set point Japan. And this is where it gets really hard. Qatar need 4 points on serve, and realistically that's almost impossible. Vasic will look to try and put the first one on the board here. Easy take there for the libero, and that's by the numbers. The inside swing, the inside set once again for Yamauchi, and as you say, that's been such a weapon for them, and that's how they wrap up the first set.
Well, they started the first set with that play, might as well ended the first set with that play, and it was all Japan in set number one. Their offense just too strong, really posing a lot of problems for the Qatari block and defense.
So the first set going pretty much as we expected then. And we saw a lot of plays like that, as you say, the quick inside sets.
Anytime that pass is up to the net, gives Japan the opportunity to set 4 players. They went a lot through the middle. They have the back row quick attack also happening. Plus you've got overhead. There's just too many offensive options for Japan.
So confirmation then, the first set comfortably claimed by Japan, 25-20. They jumped out to the early lead, and here's the numbers that matter, Matt.
So no blocks for Qatar. Obviously, that's a very concerning number. You want to have at least one, if not several more, to help your side. But 5 service errors, too, against Qatar did not help the cause either. Quick glance at the Japanese spike placement. Percentages across the net. Heavy attacking to the opposite side of the court. Most of those middle attacks were all wrist away over to their opponent's left side, and then obviously those green balls that you see there in the analytic graphic shows some winners and some good defensive efforts from Qatar as well, but just not enough to get the win.
Well, let's see what can happen differently then in this second set. The numbers for Nishida. Just interesting that they have shared the load around as much as they have, Japan. They haven't just set it up for one big hitter like Qatar have really loaded up Youssef Uglaf, and why not? 7 points for him in that first set.
Yeah, the only player to have more than one attacking point for Qatar is their opposite hitter, like you said, Nick. So Qatar has to be able to spread their offense a little bit more, get more of their attackers activated, especially through the middle. They want to have a better chance here of winning set number 2, turning the tables against Japan. It's going to be very hard for Qatar to do that. They're only passing at 15% efficiency, and that's not a very good number based off of the Japanese service pressure.
Yamauchi will get this second set underway. Serves down the line. Little flip there from Uglaf, showing that he's not just a power hitter, that he can come up with a touch play when it's needed.
Yeah, nice to see the change of pace there from the opposite, showing that he's got some range as well.
And it's their skipper, Mohamed Ibrahim, who does love to let those rip. And talking of letting rip, what about that cross-court kill? Another one of these young outside hitters for Japan, Otsuka, and they've just got so many big offensive weapons, haven't they? And they're all about 20, 21, 22 years old.
Super dynamic, super explosive, the left side hitters for Japan, and a great cross-court attack angle for the winner.
Nishida tries to blast a hole through the net. Good luck with that. Side out. Uglaf will drop back the serve for Qatar. Got to keep it close here in this first set. They've got a chance to jump out to a lead here if they can get a point on serve, and Uglaf's a good weapon, but he serves at the feet of Japan coach Philippe Blaine, which is not what he was made looking to do. Or maybe he was. Take the opposition coach out, you might have a chance.
It's a strategy that's not often used, but sometimes it works. A little cheeky smile through the net there from Youssef that time after the serve.
Pipe attack, had to be accurate, and I'm afraid he was slightly off balance there, couldn't control himself, Nikola Vasic. Otsuka. Nice pickup. And Ribeiro will look to just drop it on the line, and does.
Sneaky left side attack that time. Showing angle and almost a little bit of a no-look line attack here by Qatar.
Yeah, knew exactly what he was doing there and executed it to perfection. The little dink has caused a bit of chaos, but they've kept it alive there. Takahashi trying to sneak one over. He'll go for power here, and that doesn't work. The containing block has done its job, and a big stuff block. He was put in a bad spot there, Uglaf, taking that from behind the 3-meter line. That allowed the blockers to get set, and that was the end of that.
Good work on the block and defensive side of Japan. To get back to the net, make a nice move, and then get this monster block. That left hand of Ron there.
Yeah, Ron Takahashi says, I'll take that stuff block, thank you very much. Taishi Onodera was alongside him. He's now serving, and that's, I'm pretty sure that's a whiff. And they're rather lucky to get away with that point there as Japan get called for a carry. Don't tell me that Belal meant that.
Well, the second contact right there is what they're calling the lift on. It was a little bit late. Our first official probably got some notification from our second umpire down below that that was a lift.
But I tell you, if Belal meant that, that's genius.
Let's call that the paintbrush.
Service reception again is really good. Too hot again from Ran Takahashi. Off the block and away.
Just so many weapons on the Japanese side. And so much power. Again, perfect pass offense. First ball side out. High, strong cross-court attack for the winner.
Sakita with serve. And that's sent backside, but too long. Now Youssef Uglaf thought he saw something there, and he wants that reviewed.
Well, the call from our first official was that Youssef was over the line, so backcourt violation on the attacking line there with his left foot. He probably wanted a challenge on the in-out call, but a point for Japan nonetheless.
Yeah, he's not going to get it, as you say. There's a block, nicely picked up by Ribeiro to keep it alive. That's kept up by Sakita. What an angle taken there by Yuji Nishida. I tell you, that is some swing.
Yuji Nishida, one of the most electrifying players on this Japanese side, plays his professional volleyball in Italy, but that is an extreme angle that only Nishida can pull off.
Sekita stays on serve. The push is the only available option there, dug out by Sekita, and that is too good again by Ran Takahashi. You said it earlier, Matt, there's just so many young, aggressive, confident, attacking players that Philippe Blaine has got at his disposal now.
Well, and the defensive effort there from your setter as well gives your team another chance, and that is not something that's going to work nicely for Qatar, especially not having your blocker shoulder to shoulder, trying to slow down Takahashi from the left side.
Transition or good situation, because we are playing point by point, guys, in this way. Okay? Keep going, keep going. Dale, dale. Yeah, up.
Yeah, Camilo Soto has recognized that a big gap has opened up here, just as it did early in the first set, and Qatar were always playing catch-up and never could catch up. Don't need that to be happening again here, as Sekita stays on serve. That's a tough take. I tell you, even the pancake attempt from Sekita couldn't get there, as Vasic found the space perfectly.
Nice change of pace here from the left side attack. Nicola going with a little roll shot right off of that right hand over the block, just out of reach of Nishida and the back row defensive player.
Stevanovic at 5'8". Wobbles one over the net somehow. Now, can they get any kind of play here? No, it's just pushed over. They've got all sorts of options here, but the cross court from Vasic doesn't work. Yamamoto's back there, and taking that from so far back was Nishida. They've kept it alive, and does that take a touch on the way through? No, it does not. So Vasic goes long. Had a look at the referee as if to say, oh, I want to challenge that.
I'm actually surprised that he's not challenging it. They haven't challenged any calls yet. They're not getting a lot of opportunities to use a challenge. Doesn't look like it's going to come in, and the point will go to Japan.
Takahashi, who will turn 21 during his stay here in Ljubljana. Winds up a big one. Uglaf picks that one up. They'll take it far side. Vasic is contained. Sekita with the quick forward set. That one is also contained. Ribeiro doing some great work in the backfield for Qatar, and the backcourt work done by Takahashi there, and then a big swing and too long. Well, Tatsunori Otsuka now having a look as if to say, hey, should we challenge that?
I'm not sure we're going to get that challenge come in either. A great defensive effort from Japan, but credit to Qatar to stay clean on that counterattack and scoring the point off that missed opportunity.
Vasic. A little net skimmer there. Yamamoto's watched it all the way. It'll come out to Nishida, who just powered his way through that and draws the foul.
Yeah, net violation called that time against Ibrahim on his blocking move. No argument as we see a quick replay of this. Nishida from the left side, sorry, the right. But there it is, the block goes into the net after a decent deflection.
Yamauchi. He just lost the flight of that a little bit. He took that well beyond the service line, so it was always in trouble there. Tends not to destroy you with his serves, unlike Mohamed Ibrahim, the Qatar captain, and we've already seen what he's capable of from the service line. What does he wind up here? That's a nice one. Yamamoto getting plenty of air underneath that one. Sekita sets up Nishida. Enough time for Qatar to get their defenses together. A lovely one-handed dig there from Yamamoto. And again, Japan just keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and eventually Nishida goes for the cross court off the block.
Japan just so good at prolonging rallies, covering their hitters, multiple attacks in one rally, and finally getting that cross-court winner is Nishida once again.
Nishida finds an ace.
Finds an ace. Now, I think we might see a challenge here because everybody on the Qatar side is absolutely convinced that it went long, but there is no challenge.
I think all the players on the court want it to be challenged, but all the players on the reserve bench said it was in.
They won.
This time it is kept up by Vasic. The containing block there to deny Ribeiro, who will get a second bite at it here against 3 blockers. Brilliant bit of defensive work there from Takahashi. And it's just contain and contain here. Then there's another containing block to deny Bilal. Bilal will have another go, swings at that one. Yamamoto gets the pancake going. This is where Japan are very dangerous when they transition, as they will here, but Nishida, I'm not sure that was even a block. I think that was just straight into the net.
Gosh, so fun to watch Japan and how long and how disciplined they are. Covering their hitters, doesn't matter how many times the ball goes back and forth over the net. You can see the Qatari block not penetrating that time, slipping through between the block and the net. Nishida scoring another point.
Guys, Tilo, let's take patient when they defense or we play. We cannot spike, we play dirty, they take. So everyone, we can go 3 blocks, we go 3 blocks, but 4-2 also be ready in deep because this guy take all the balls, okay? Let's continue, swing the ball because it's to play against the hands, okay? Also, fingers line.
Yeah, here's the injury to Saad Suleiman, heavily iced up. Yeah, that right arm really did take a almighty whack. Nice service reception, pipe attack. No, that's not going to work. Sekita goes backside, Nishida rips it down the line. And Hassan Mahmoud just could not get control on that, the libero. Again, Nishida too strong. Well, there's no such thing as an easy group in the World Championship, and Qatar certainly find themselves in a hot one with Japan, Brazil, and Cuba. Nishida with the net serve, because Japan, since Philippe Blaine took over last year, really have been on an upswing, doing so well in their own home Olympics, and then a best ever performance in the Volleyball Nations League this year. They're definitely heading in the right direction. Uglaf floats the serve that just floats too long.
Took a little bit off that time, but not enough top spin as that one sails through the inline.
Otsuka, who did play in this year's VNL. Nicely picked up. Uglaf, let's rip. I mean, Tomohiro Yamamoto is pretty good at defensive digs, but this was just too good a hit.
Great set all the way back for his opposite hitter to take a crack at it, but you know, all right, Yamamoto not able to get that dig.
Ribeiro. Yeah, soft one there. Sekita does well and just feeds Onodera. We haven't seen so much of that in this second set, but those lovely inside sets, if the serve isn't particularly strong, Sekita looks for those middles. And they had a bit more success with it there. Through this man, Taishi Onodera. Tried to sneak one down the line. Sneaked it the wrong side of the line, side out.
Yeah, you can be aggressive from the inline when you have a 6-point advantage here for Japan, but it's a fine line. You don't want to miss too many. Nishida's missed a few serves from the inline as well, and then your middle start missing serves. It could give some momentum over to Qatar.
Bilal looking to try and get some momentum here again. To the middle. That's where Sekita's looking every opportunity, and if it's not Onodera, it'll be Yamauchi.
Again, with that 31 set, that distance, you see the gap there, even from where he's at, nearly at the sideline. What a set from Sekita at that time to get his middle involved.
And they're trying to do exactly but that back, Qatar, and they do with Mohamed Ibrahim.
Yeah, nice response. You like to see that from Qatar. A great pass allows Ibrahim to get the attack. high over the block and into the corner.
Well, Saki to go this time. He sets up the pipe attack. Woo! Bring a bit of extra mustard on that one from Tatsunori Otsuka. He ripped into that one.
Now, we haven't said Otsuka's name very much, especially out of the back row, but this showing that he has that capability to run that big attack precisely down for that point.
Takahashi. Really winds up a big one. Maybe a bit too big, because he's found nothing but nylon on that one. Well, we're seeing Philippe Blaine here throughout this match, rotating his big hitters in and out. Too long from Vasic. Yeah, at the moment Nishida is out there along with Ishikawa. Takahashi, that's the big guns, and I don't care how big your guns are. If you're taking a swing like that on the inside and you effectively deliver it as Mohamed Ibrahim did there. Boy, he's taking that high.
Great precision. The 31 attack again working nicely for Qatar. High over the block. Ibrahim goes to score that point.
Yeah, really nice service reception, Takahashi, and then rip down the line to Nishida. So Japan at 2013 here. Oh, that's the longest one of the afternoon from Nishida. Put that at least a meter deep. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with himself after that one. But Japan still in cruise control here. Again, Yamamoto just doing brilliantly on service reception. And what a block! How about that for a bit of brilliance? Belal Abunabot says, don't bring it here. Well, they haven't had too many big monster blocks in this match so far, but a gang of three lining up to take care of Kento Miyaura. So Uglaf will stay on serve, mixes it up, and it was a clever serve, nicely picked up by Ishikawa, and tremendous rescue work from Uglaf there. Somehow got underneath it, but can they keep it going? No, they can't. Onodera rubs one off the block and away, side out. Takes Japan a point nearer to the magic number. That's a wonderful rescue from Uglaf, who we've seen as an offensive weapon. Little push from Belal doesn't fool anybody, but no swing there for Takahashi. He has to push as well, and then just ripping it. Renan Ribeiro says that's enough of that. Well, Ribeiro has been with the Al Arabi squad for more than a decade. The naturalized Qatari, originally from Brazil, gets himself a winner there, and it remains 21-16. They go for it again, and it's worked again. Onodera. Just got no antidote to this, Qatar. Kept alive. Miyaura really didn't have much of a play available there. But going for the big one again is Youssef Uglaf, who certainly had a very strong match. Tough take for Uglaf as well there. but made it look really easy in the end. Drew a crowd, but managed to get it off Takahashi and away. 22-17. There's Belal. Look to just send a short one in there. Easily picked up. The pipe attack is not going to be picked up. That's going to go and go and go. Whew. Some hit that with Masaki Oya in that setup. Although he checks back out again now with Nishida coming back in. Yeah. No getting that one. Just a little bit too much on that. Miura. But it's 23-18. It's quite a conversation going on there with Philippe Blaine from Miura. Stevanovic with serve, a lovely fake, lovely fake. I tell you, that really opened things up for Ran Takahashi. Qatar seeing the fake and reacting to it. That's the swing they were expecting. They got over there a little bit late. Just froze Mohamed Ibrahim, and he couldn't get over there and help. Lovely work play there for Japan, who take themselves to set point for a 2-set lead here with Takahashi serving for it. That's going to come back on the overpass. And then just ripped. And as simple as that for Ishikawa. Off the block. Down and done. And Qatar are down at the moment. 2 sets down. Comfortable for Philippe Blaine and his squad here. They've jumped out to the early lead in both sets. And as a result, it's Japan who find themselves in a very strong position here. Really fighting, battling effort here from Qatar. This has rather summed up their efforts. They're getting close, just not able to contain the Japanese big hitters. So there is confirmation. 25-20 in the first set, 25-18 in set 2. By the numbers, looking at it, still no blocks there for Qatar. Just look at the attack points for Japan, 16-9. Just the one service ace. But yeah, if Qatar can't get blocks against Japan, hard to see how they are going to win this match. If they are going to win it, they're going to have to come from 2 down.
Japanese head coach Philippe Blaine. Coach, you guys are up 2-0 in sets, a very well-rounded performance. What does your team have to do to get all the way through here and win the match?
Yeah, but you know, with this system, with this format and competition, it's important this match to win, taking the maximum of points and taking the victory. And we have a second deal for us is to bring back Yuki Ishikawa to the competition after his injury. So right now it's going well, so I hope we will make the same for the third set.
All right, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
There's a reaction from Philippe Blaine. We'll hope to get the thoughts of Camilo Soto as well, because he's down there.
And here with Qatari head coach Camilo Santo. Coach, you got to be pleased with the effort from your team. What do you guys have to do to kind of turn around the scoreboard, though?
Yeah, we cannot start to play point by point from the beginning. This is the first goal. We are not getting point in service. They are pushing. We know this is one weapon, but when we have the ball separate, till now our attack is not working. They are defending too much. And also in transition, when they change the rhythm, even we can take the balls. I think we have to improve this, and we try to improve our block with one substitution now.
Yeah. All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the way. Qatari coach Soto, back up to you, Nick.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed, Matt. Let's have a look at the center contact point. You want a highest percentage as possible in that green semicircle, so the setter doesn't have to scramble around too much, and it opens up all the options for the setter. 46% as you can see there, for Qatar. That's not a particularly high number. It means that it allows the defense to just get themselves in a There's plenty of tenacity and fighting spirit about Qatar, and if they can jump into a lead in this third set, it could yet get interesting. If Japan think this match is done, they've got to finish the job. Nice defensive work, Stevanovic. And there's another big swing from Uglav. We've seen it all match.
And this is what you want to see from Qatar, is the response to start set number 3. A big swing from the right side with 3 blockers up in front of him, blasting it high off the block and out of bounds for the first point.
First point on the board then for Qatar. The serve from Djukic is off the net, and that took all the sting out of it, which means trouble.
When Japan passes the ball perfectly in system like they did right here, there are just so many offensive weapons, and they're so dynamic, especially on that big attack from the back row.
Yamauchi skims one over the net cord, and that's going to be taken by Yusuf, who just looked to try and get a touch, and it's been called Japan's way, because that looked like it took a touch.
We'll see if they're off the replay here that attack catches that net, and then I got a little blockage there. Couldn't see on that angle, but that's why we have the Hawkeye system here,
Yeah.
Nick.
Well, it certainly wasn't a block touch, but did it catch any part of the line is the question that Qatar are asking. I love this dramatic music whenever we get the replays. Come on, this is good stuff. Well, in or out? Did it catch the line? And the answer is, oh my goodness, how close. But the correct call on the floor is confirmed upstairs.
If that ball hadn't clipped the top of the net, it probably would have hit the sideline. But unfortunately, that clip of the net changed it up, and it falls out of bounds.
So Yamauchi will serve. Once again. This is where they really need a side-out Qatar. And again, a terrific rescue from Sekita, but no. Once that second touch sent the ball skidding backwards to the baseline, Japan were in trouble, and even they couldn't rescue that one. You know, it's a scruffy point, Matt, but you know what? They all count.
Qatar will take a point any way they can get it at this stage of the match.
Well, they might have an ace serve to look forward to here if Mohamed Ibrahim can get this one right. No, they really are watching him very, very closely, and Nishida will rub one off the block and away. Absolutely brilliant service reception to neutralize the threat of big serving Mohamed Ibrahim.
Yeah, another perfect pass and a first ball option side out to score the point. Some frustration there from the Qatari blocker.
Ooh, Nishida just too long. It was interesting. Nishida went over to Philippe Blaine as if to say, "You going to challenge that?" And he got sent straight back. "No, I'm not." Uglef, nothing but nylon for him.
You know the cliche, Nick, the ball never lies. Said it a lot of times. We'll say it again. That ball must have been in because it was followed up by a service error. So save the challenge, take the service error.
Yep, the ball knows. And switched it over to Uglaf, but his cross court doesn't work. Nishida's there to pick that up, and that's Mahmoud picking that up. And then pick that up. Youssef Uglaf rips through. A very, very solid match on the offensive end of things, Youssef Uglaf.
Yeah, he's been a very bright spot for Qatar, going through the hands that time of Ron Takahashi. A little bit lucky, but he'll take it.
So it'll be Ribeiro. 4-4. Sent it down the line. Otsuka picked it up, and they'll go once again where they always seem to go if they get the opportunity. Down the middle, it's Onodera this time.
Well, they'd gone away from their middle attacking a little bit to begin set number 3. Perfect timing to go right back to that 31 attack as well. And again, the wrist away attack works for Japan.
And Onodera will now go back to serve with Yamauchi coming back in. And he'll hustle over there, and I think Yamauchi says that's mine, right on cue.
204 centimeter is Yamauchi up at the net. Again, that set just a little bit too tight. And you don't want to challenge it cross court against Yamauchi that time, getting the block back into the hitter.
So Onodera serving at 6-4. Got to be a side out. And is, again, a nice quick inside set. And Bilal saying, hey, we can play that game too.
Well, when Qatar gets a pass up to the net, they can go quick, and they attack the seam right there. Nice crossbody swing that time from Bilal.
Bilal gets a bit of net cord. Nishida's going to have to take that back from a long way back, and that allowed the blockers to get set, and Mohamed Ibrahim was certainly one of the gang of 3, and it looked like he's claiming it as well. And I tell you what, it's a brave guy who says that wasn't yours. It's his.
It was all him.
It's his. He knew. And they've drawn level again. Bilal floats one in. Takahashi picks it up. There's a containing block again. I tell you, Ibrahim's got his eye in blocking wise. That's just too good a hit from Takahashi on the cross court. But this is more promising from Qatar. I mean, at this stage in the first 2 sets, Philippe Blaine's side were away and clear. They're not here.
Well, Japan had to know that they were going to get a response like this from Qatar, and they realize the opportunity that they have in front of them to take this match in 3 sets and get 3 points for their pool ranking. They want to do that and try to close this one out.
And still, Qatar have got a chance to transition here, which they do brilliantly. As soon as Youssef Uglaf was brought into play there, you thought, hey, there's trouble coming. He manages to find that gap. 3 blockers in place, but he sneaked it between 2 of them, and Stevanovic, the center, is looking for him at every opportunity. And why not load up your big hitter? 7-7. Stevanovic will now serve. The Serbian-born setter. That's not the greatest it takes from Yamamoto. Sakita's done well to rescue it. Sakita this time will set it up once again. Yamauchi, quick inside set. You've been talking about it all afternoon, and you know, if it ain't broke,
yeah,
don't
if it ain't
fix
broke,
it.
Don't fix it. Don't go away from it. Keep feeding your big middle blocker. It's hitting a very high percentage, especially in transition. In this set.
Takahashi looking to make it a 5-point deficit here as he stays on serve. Nishida, Ishikawa still out there as well. Sakita at setter. And Philippe Blaine is determined to get this done in 3. Nice rescue there from Takahashi, who then transitions on the pipe attack brilliantly as well. Defense into offense. Done to perfection.
So fast to transition is Japan after that great dig from Takahashi. One step back and he's already moving forward for the approach on that big attack and scoring.
That's not what you need off a timeout. Camilo Soto's thinking we've got to get a side out. Hasn't happened, but you can blame Ren Takahashi for that. That was all his own work. He started it with the serve, so he'll stay on serve. Mixes the serve up nicely. That's picked up by Djukic. No real swing opportunity there for Uglaf. There's a swing opportunity there, but the block is in place. The number 1 of Japan denied by the number 1 of Qatar. Nishida blocked by Uglaf.
Uglaf does a great job to get back to the net from being off the court. That set also a little bit too tight for Nishida, and Uglaf wins that point.
The Djukic. The Montenegrin-born Djukic looked to try and find the corner there and didn't miss by much. Got to be aggressive on their serves. They've got such a deficit to try and pull back. It's Yamauchi that's going to be serving next at 13-8 here in set 3. Japan looking to take the short route to 3 points against Qatar. Not the greatest of takes there from Djukic. The blockers got up. As soon as you saw the take there, you knew Qatar were in trouble.
Yeah, Japan doing a nice job getting 3 blockers in front of that attacker. Taking a little bit off that time, trying to get it off the block and out of bounds, but it falls in for the block point.
So Yamauchi will stay on serve. That's a much better take this time, but again, the containing blocks there to deny Ribeiro, so they'll go to Ibrahim, and he just finesses a little bit there. Couldn't really swing through that. He's managed to improvise something very nicely there.
Ibrahim showing some creativity with that shot right over the block, and that's why you don't reach back as a blocker. Let your back row player dig that ball.
Ibrahim went for a big one there, just a bit too big. I like Mohamed Ibrahim, though. 37 years old, the captain of this team, the pride, the achievement of getting this team to a world championship for the first time ever. And you can tell he's the heartbeat. Nishida at 15-9. Well, you can go big when you got a lead like this.
Yeah, Japan can gamble a little bit from the end line and be aggressive, but they want to stay within the court a little bit. That's Yuji's third or fourth service error in this match.
And this time it's Uglaf going a bit too aggressive. So 3 long in a row. And Yuki Ishikawa can wind them up as well. I wonder how deep he fancies pushing this one. Let's see. Does he go for a big one? Well, okay, so he doesn't go deep, he just goes into the net. I mean, it's not a side-out battle, it's a service error battle at the moment. Okay, let's get a serve in play here. Let's see if Renan Ribeiro can break the spell. Yes, he can, down the line. Yamamoto picks it up, and there it is. Easy as you like. Sakita's going to look for those middles every opportunity he gets.
Yeah, absolutely. And another 31 attack through the middle by Japan. The serve was in, but the pass was perfect. And another middle blocker attack point for Japan.
Speaking of middle blockers, here's the other guy, Taishi Onodira, back there. Onodira and Yamauchi have certainly been very, very productive today. Backside it goes, and there's a big block in place, but Uglaf gets the better of Yamauchi this time.
Uglaf unleashing on that attack. He's been attacking strong all match long. Had a little bit of a lull here to start set number 3, but that, a great attack off of the wing arm of the blocker.
Bilal Abunabot with serve taken by Ishikawa. Nishida taking that from a long way back. Somehow one-handed Bilal has got something on it, but I don't think anybody knew quite where that ball was going to land, and they just could not recover.
And the power of Nishida. Just the wind-up and then the absolute rocket with that side spin. Credit to Bilal to stick his arm out there and kind of get the dig, but just not high enough for his teammate.
Great effort from Ribeiro. Back it'll come again, and another big swing from Youssef Uglaf. Manages to take Masahiro Sakita off his feet. Uglaf says, hey, you all right? He is, he's fine.
Watch number 8 there on the side of your screen. Put a little chin music that time.
That's not the greatest of takes. And Nishida, will he swing at this? Yeah, just pushed through on the cross court. Djukic can't really get much of a play here either. And again, a little bit of finesse and trickery, somehow kept alive. How on earth did Qatar do that? What a point this is. Finished in style by Yuji Nishida. We had a bit of razzle-dazzle from Japan. We had some outstanding defense from Qatar, and then Nishida says, enough is enough.
How about Takahashi trying to set quick from the back row? But then Nishida from the left side that time, whipping that arm and attacking that ball hard for the point.
Takahashi. Oh, the blocks there, it's too good. Akihiro Yamauchi getting the better of Mohamed Ibrahim this time.
trying not avoid the block. Go high in the corner, okay? In the perfect, we know they will jump with him. Separate in the net if you want to play or if not sharing, okay? One situation. When we play frente and they call B, we need this guy also little help with the B and B angle. Don't go before when it's frente and call B. Understand our position 4?
Come on, right? Come on.
Tough to know where Camilo Soto is going to stand on this. I mean, he would have expected his team to be second best, frankly, in all three of their matches in the pool phase, but there's a lot of positives still to take out of this effort against Japan as well. He shouldn't be too hard on his team, and I'm sure he won't be. You know, this has not been a steamroller job, far from it. They've been competitive. Nice take there once again, and again, they're digging at everything, aren't they? Mahmoud manages to keep that alive, and it's hoisted back from way back from Djukic, but here comes the next Japanese swing, and it's a cross-court kill from Yuki Ishikawa, and you can't fault the defensive effort again.
No, Qatar has done a good job. You've been talking about it all match, Nick. The effort is definitely there, but just so much power and so many weapons on the Japanese side. That time, Takahashi going hard cross-court against one blocker, and he's going to win that challenge 99% of the time.
Well, this has been the big difference, I think, in the last 12 months that we've seen with Japan. Always such a strong team defensively, but it's now the offensive weapons. They're young, they're fast, they're powerful. And there's a lot of different options.
And they're well-rounded, yeah, certainly.
Yeah. They're not just relying on one or two guys. And there's a one-on-one wipeout again. Uglaf, this time denied by Nishida. Those two have banged heads a couple of times, those two number ones. This time it's Nishida that says, I get the win.
Yeah, it's been an entertaining matchup, these two opposite attackers in this match, but you're right, Yoshida getting that time, Nishida getting that block that time.
Yusuf takes a breather as this match starts to wind up towards its inevitable conclusion now. Just 3 points needed for Japan. Takahashi with serve, and again, terrific defensive work from Sekita this time, and Nishida can't find it under pressure. Looked for that sideline and wasn't far away.
Yeah, Nishida was really aggressive on that swing. He tried to turn it back onto that wing blocker, but just missed the hands. I like that idea by him to try to catch that wing blocker asleep, but just missed it. That attack goes out of bounds.
Djukic looks for a big one, and it's a bit too big. Well, I hope the Qatari players haven't looked too far ahead of the schedule, because there's only Cuba and Brazil.
Yeah, they have to serve the ball in a little bit more.
There's the containing block, but they're not going to keep it in play, as Renan Ribeiro is too good for the block. And that is the thing, talking about the schedule, you know, just to achieve qualification for this World Championship, you know you're going to be in a tough group. I mean, there's no such thing as an easy group here.
No, there's not, and Qatar being in this group knows that this might have been their best chance to win a set or a match, knowing they've got to play against Cuba and Brazil in the next 3 days is going to be a very uphill battle for them.
Mohamed Ibrahim getting right underneath that one, brings up match point here, and it'll be Yuji Nishida looking to serve it out. Oh, and it's a beauty. An ace to wrap it up. Wow. Well, that was impressive. Japan came in